Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday. My name is Dean, and this is a special holiday edition of E&OE Whiskey. Welcome. Today I'll be tasting for you Black Velvet. This is distilled through Black Velvet Distilleries in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. It's 40% alcohol by volume or 80 proof. Aged for 3 years in oak. One of the special things for me about Black Velvet is when I was a kid, growing up, probably about the age of 11, 12, give or take, something like that. Every Christmas, my dad would buy either a bottle of Black Velvet, a bottle of Seagrams 7, or a bottle of Seagrams VO. And during Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, Dad would always let my brother and I have one mixed drink. Very weak mixed drink, to say the least, but a mixed drink nonetheless. So at a very young age, I had Black Velvet, as well as, like I said, Seagrams 7 and Seagrams VO. So with it being the holiday season and the holiday spirit, tonight I'm going to do a tasting of Black Velvet, as well as a tasting of, in my very, very minute little bottle, of Seagrams 7. And then when it's all said and done, because it is the holiday season, I am going to make a 7 and 7. Unfortunately, I don't have any 7 up. I'm going to have to use Sprite instead. But I will make a mixed drink for the holidays in memory of my past. So let's get right to it. Get a couple of glasses here. I've drank these, obviously, many, many times. My next door neighbor is a big Black Velvet fan. So I've enjoyed many a drink with her. It's very, very smooth whiskey. I've never done a tasting on it. I've always had it on the rocks and just kind of left it at that. I'm going to do the same thing here with the Seagrams 7. The rest of that, I'm probably just going to go ahead and use my mixed drink. Probably the whole shooter, actually. The Seagrams 7 is done through, it's actually known as Seagrams 7 Crown or Seagrams 7. This is through the Seagrams Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. This is an American blended whiskey. It's actually, it was acquired by Diageo, Pernod Ricard, and Coca-Cola in the year 2000. So it's actually an American whiskey. Even though Seagrams is mainly known as like Seagrams VO, or the Seagrams Corporation, which actually owns and produces Crown Royal. Same company, but this happens to be the American division. So we're going to do a comparison here, do some tasting. With it being a 3-year whiskey, the Black Velvet is very, very light in color, more like a light gold. Pretty, but light gold. The Seagrams 7, I really couldn't find a whole lot as far as the amount of time in the cask. Is a little darker, so I'm going to probably put it around about the 4-year range, getting more into the amber. Black Velvet is very mild. Getting lots of fruit, honey, brown sugar, molasses. Nice. Seagrams 7. About the same, a little more of the true whiskey blend to it, or whiskey note to it. This is a little bit on the smoother, fruitier side. And part of the reason this is called Black Velvet is because of the fact that they consider it being a very silky, almost velvety texture. This does have a few windows to it, so it should be on the oilier side, more velvety. The Seagrams has practically no windows, so it should be even more velvety yet. And we'll find out here. Tasting the Black Velvet. Very, very mild, very relaxed. Not very forward as far as flavor is concerned. Not very heavy alcohol because it is only 40 proof. And by the way, the Seagrams 7 is both the same 40% alcohol by volume and 80 proof, the same as Black Velvet. Flavor-wise, like I said, that's pretty, with me being more of a bourbon guy and Scotch, this is obviously very, very mellow, and You get the whiskey flavor, of course, but it's not very heavy. Not bad though. Let's try the Seagrams 7. Definitely more of the, definitely heavier as far as alcohol is concerned compared to this. So the profile on this is actually a little more nutty. Not so much fruity like the Black Velvet. Not as smooth as the Black Velvet. The Black Velvet definitely has more of a better coating on the mouth. The Seagrams I noticed more towards the back part of my throat as opposed as the entire tongue or the entire roof of the mouth like I got with the Black Velvet. Didn't coat quite as nicely. But flavor-wise, actually it's a little bit better. So what we're going to do now, because we can't have a wasteful evening here as far as alcohol is concerned. Pour that in there, pour the rest of the shooter in there, which is right at 2 shots. And now I add some Sprite to it, or 7-Up, depending on which one you have. Like I said, for me, this brings back memories because this is what I used to drink as a kid. Sounds kind of bad when I think about it. But when I was raised as a kid, it was a different day and age than what it is now, where parents allow their kids to have some alcohol, maybe a beer or something along those lines, especially during holiday season. It was kind of a time period where some of the guard would be let down a little bit and let your kids enjoy and learn more about life. And to be done with the supervision of an adult, for me at least, made it where I didn't have much of a desire to go out there and sneak booze behind my parents' back. Like most kids I did, but I didn't have as strong as a desire because of the fact that I could have it at home as long as I had it in the presence of my mother or father, and I wasn't going anywhere the rest of the night. I was going to be staying home. That my parents didn't have a problem if I had a beer with them or during the holiday season, a mixed drink. So, for Christmas and New Year's, cheers. And I must say, that brings back a lot of memories. I don't normally drink just straight whiskey and 7 or whiskey and Sprite. I pretty much now just do bourbon straight on the rocks or neat. But I must say, that's a very enjoyable drink. It brings back a lot of memories as far as the flavors I remember as a kid drinking this, like I said, between Christmas and New Year's, and thinking I was a big shot back then. Now, just enjoying it. If you like what we do here at E&OE, please hit the like and subscribe button at the bottom of the page. We'd love to hear from you. Every Wednesday morning, we do post a picture of the alcohol or whiskey, bourbon, scotch that we do taste that afternoon, or that for our tastings. This time will be, of course, Seagram 7 and Black Velvet. The best bourbon, scotch, or whiskey that's out there is the one that you like to drink the way you like to drink it. Whether it be on the rocks with a mixer like 7-Up or Coke, or something along those lines, or making a whiskey sour, or a Manhattan, or an old fashioned, or scotch and water, neat or on the rocks. The way that you like to drink it is the best that's out there for you. So with that in mind, have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year, and cheers.